It's not a war, it's a criminal act. I mean, really, it is something criminal because in a war, in a war, there are some laws. Some laws. You can't put bombs on schools and hospitals when they are very clear that they are hospitals and schools. You can't bomb, you can't kill people just because they are there. This is criminality. Yeah, I think that
Well,
you agree.
Unfortunately, I think that 20th century ended this expectation that the war can be civilized. And what did Hitler and what did Stalin and the Japanese as well? It was way beyond the norms of the war. It wasn't like that the soldiers are fighting and the civilians are less or more safe. No one is safe. And Putin wants the same thing Stalin wanted with Ukraine, and which is described in my film, Mr. Jones. It means to do some kind of the genocide of Ukraine. They cannot stand Ukraine as the nation, as the independent country, as a sovereign country. And so he decided to just break them, to force them, to surrender. And he's doing also the deportations and the massive deportations. Over 1.5 million of Ukrainians have been, from the territories he took in the first moment, have been deported to Russia, to some kind of the camps, to some kind of the gulags, including children. So, he's a criminal, and unfortunately, that you have the crazy guy who is the criminal is one thing, but that 80% of the nation is cheering it, and they are happy that it's going on, and they are eating the incredibly, like primitive propaganda and believe in that. That is something which makes our future very uncertain.
Yes, I think that the majority of the people, they don't know what is happening. They don't know what is happening in Ukraine. I mean, the Russian people.
Well, but they can know if they want to know. The woman who was staying in my house, she has the uncle in Russia, yeah. And she called him and told him what's going on, and he didn't believe her. The own, niece.
But he didn't believe because he has only one voice. No, the only voice. The voice
he didn't want to believe. He didn't want to believe.
Yeah, they don't want.
Yeah, because you have internet in our days, and of course they made it more difficult to follow the independent platform, but it's still possible. You had some kind of the independent journal. It was just closed a week ago.
It was closed.
Denis Muratov, who was Nobel Prize of last year, was the chief editor. So they've been writing true, of course, not in the way which was as brutal and dangerous for them, but the people don't want this truth. They want some kind of the dream that they are the most noble, most just, and the most persecuted country, that everybody against Russia, and Russia is, this kind of the bullshit, as any nationalistic or fascist movements are creating community by the hate of the enemy, hate of other, creating the enemy scapegoat, Jews, Ukrainians, homosexuals, whatever. And it works.
But they say that some of the soldiers, or the majority of the soldiers, they're coming from the country and they didn't know even where they were going. I don't know if it is true, but I heard that many soldiers, they didn't know what they were going to do. They were just sweeping orders from those who were governing, and they didn't know. I mean, they say some of the Ukrainians say that the soldiers were prisoners, say that they were absolutely ignorant about what was happening. No, you don't believe it is?
It's some, yes, but these atrocities, it means raping women, even children, and killing people and stealing everything. it was made by soldiers. It wasn't made by the ETs, you know. So
poi c'è anche da dire, è molto un'affermazione molto negativa, però abbiamo sempre detto che la cultura aiuta a non fare orrori. Però quando sì, ma nella seconda guerra mondiale i tedeschi erano i più colti, erano quelli che avevano studiato di più, che conoscevano la musica e hanno fatto tutto. E veramente è disperante. Sì, è disperante. Perché?
May I ask you something? I would want to know, but you are living in Poland?
I'm living between Poland, France, and Los Angeles. So
No,
I'm living
was,
in the triangle, which gives me, you know, the point of view on.
Okay. No, I wanted to ask you, what is the atmosphere and the feelings of the majority of the people in Poland for these people who are coming from Ukraine? And I heard that they have been received with generosity and well, but I mean, what is the atmosphere? I mean, of the Poland people for these immigrants?
You know, it was the big wave of the solidarity, and it still is. Of course, it's 6 months already, so it is more difficult. About 1.5 million rest in Poland, mostly children, women and children. Some of them found work, but they cannot find like the well-paid work, of course, because they're mostly not qualified. They don't speak language, even if it's similar, so they can learn pretty quickly. And the apartments are very, you know, it's very few of free apartments. This market, apartments market, is very bad in Poland, and it became very expensive. So I'm worried, you know, I'm worried what winter will make. But if somebody is really helping them, is the ordinary people over Poland. And they've been, you know, when the war started, the people were going to the borders to take people and bring them to some places, to different cities, you know, and so it was an incredible wave of the solidarity. I never seen something like that. But in the same time, you had the refugees coming through Belarus, from Middle East, from Africa, and they've been beaten and left to die in the forest. So you have those two borders very close to each other. And one, you know, the soldiers, also the authorities, the ordinary people are embracing them like that. And on another, soldiers, because they have different color of skin, they are letting them die. So, of course, also some people on this Belarusian border who are helping, but the general feeling is like that. So for me, it's pretty schizophrenic what I see in Poland.
You think that racism is increasing in the world or not?
I think that racism is a very powerful thing, which probably, if the humanity survive next 2-3 centuries, maybe it will go away, but not before.
Bene. Continuiamo però a fare cose che ci permettano di riflettere, anche perché questo che ci stiamo dicendo ora non è molto sulla comunicazione, non esce molto sui giornali, non si sente in televisione. Sono delle cose che, insomma, forse anche, io credo un po' le donne le sanno, ma non le dicono perché pensano che tanto non c'è modo di intervenire.
Ma tu dici le donne ucraine? O
no, io dico un po' tutte, perché anzi forse le ucraine hanno il loro problema sul momento da risolvere subito, ma tutte le altre, cioè io penso che ci sia anche un collegamento tra le guerre che succedono e la condizione delle donne che va peggio, che torna indietro.
Questo sì è vero.
Che le guerre ci portano back women